couple of weeks ago, I auditioned for the NYO, which is the National Youth Orchestra, as a pianist. And I just got the results back today, which tells me if I'm in the orchestra or not. And I made it in! So you guys will be the first ones to know that I've been accepted into NYO. Yeah, my family does know. My brother was, like, he seemed more excited than I was at the beginning. As he just ran up to me and he was just like, "Well done, you got into the orchestra, you feeling happy?" I can't imitate my brother really well. His voice is so much higher than mine, but he was just like, "Happy, Wissy? Happy?" I was like, yeah, it's great. And he was just like, "Yeah, it's really great, well done." So yeah, that was really sweet. I didn't get that, obviously, because I wasn't recording when I was looking through the email, but yeah, so apart from them, no one else knows yet. I'll be honest, when I got the news at first, I was like, I didn't know how to react, so I kind of just stood there and went, "Oh, okay." But then it took a while for it to sink in, but when it did, I was like, I'm actually been selected to play with NYO as a pianist in the orchestra, and I was like, wow, this is exciting, this is new for me. This is really cool, because in the email it said over 700 people auditioned for the place that I was trying to get, which is a lot more than I thought, and I realized, wow, this is actually really cool. I know it's a bit surprising, because you may be thinking that a piano isn't part of an orchestra, really, but actually they do have a piano section. So they have 3 seasons, and I will be in one of them, so it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, because I played concertos, quite a lot of concertos, but I'm the soloist. And playing as part of an orchestra is going to be a very new experience for me, because I've only done it sparingly in the past. So there's a lot of stuff which is going to be very new to me, and that's, I think, what's going to make it really interesting, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. To see what it's like to be playing in an orchestra with that many people, because I've worked with like a couple of people before, both piano players and different players, but this orchestra is like quite big. It's going to be quite a lot of people, so it's going to be a very different experience. I made a video about my audition, I think, some time back, and I think I'm going to put it on YouTube, but I didn't put it straight away because I wasn't sure whether I was going to get in or not, and I wanted to do it with a video of how I was reacting to the results as well. So I'm gonna probably put that out there now. I couldn't obviously record the actual audition, but I recorded myself heading to it, explaining what it was about, explaining what I thought about it, and me leaving, how I thought I did, because they're really good at like hiding what they think, because when I was in the audition, they have what they call like a poker face, I guess, where, you know, when the game poker, like the card game, and you kind of have to hide what cards you have, so you have to even do it with your face, so you keep it quite neutral so you can't tell, so it's just like, so it was really hard to tell if they were actually liking it or not, and I was thinking it's very different, and I couldn't quite read them, so I was unsure. I thought, it's probably not gonna happen, but it did. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. So I will put that video out there about how I reacted to the whole audition process and that day in general. So yeah, look out for that one. Yeah, so that was the news for me today, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see where it's gonna go. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going to audition for the NYO. The NYO, for those of you who don't know, basically stands for the National Youth Orchestra, and I know what some of you may be thinking. It'd be like, how can you go to audition for the NYO? Because you're a pianist and it's an orchestra. And that was, yeah, I know that's confusing. But they actually do have a piano section, and so that's what I'll be auditioning for. Apparently, there's only like 2 places though, so I don't know how likely it will be that I get in, but we'll see. So yeah, there's not many spaces, but I thought, why not try it? Because as a solo piano player, we don't like play much with others, and even when we do, for example, when we do concertos, we're still the soloist. It's very rare that we're doing something with an orchestra where we're part of it, or at least in my experience. I haven't really experienced that much. I mean, some people say that Rhapsody in Blue isn't really a concerto, so if that's true, then that would probably be one of the pieces I've done as part of an orchestra. But apart from that, I think I've always been the soloist, and I have done chamber music and stuff in school, as it's a requirement in my school, but I had not played as part of an orchestra, so I thought, why not give it a go and see what it's like. So that's why I'm going for the auditions. I don't really know what to expect. I know there's something like 4 stages to the audition. So one stage is where I have to play. I have to play a solo piece. So I just prepared the Ocean Etude by Chopin, because the time limit's actually really small. I think it's about like 3 minutes maximum. So all my other pieces are way too big, so I thought the best piece would probably be a Chopin Etude, because they're, you know, technically demanding, and they also have a musical quality to them. So that's the piece I'm going to be playing. Apart from that, I only know that there's like these orchestral excerpts which I have to play, but I don't know if I'm playing them with others, if I'm playing it with a CD track. I hope I'm playing it with something else, because there's like huge gaps where I just have to wait. I don't actually have the score with me at the moment. Yeah, it's in my piano room. Maybe I'll show it later, but there's like, I think, there's somewhere in the middle, there's like 20 bars where I'm doing nothing. And so, yeah, there should be other people there to play it, because otherwise I'm just going to have to sit there and just count while they, I guess, watch me count, which that's just a bit weird. But that's basically what I know. Apart from that, there's an interview. Again, I'm not 100% sure what the questions are. They sent this extremely long list of questions through an email, which we had to answer. Sorry, I'm just having my breakfast at the same time. But they sent it to us, and we had to answer a long list of questions. So it may probably be around that. And the last round really was unclear for me, so I'm really not sure what they're gonna ask me to do, because it's like, it almost sounded like they were going to give me some sight reading and say play it with these other players, like sight read with other players. And if that happens, I don't really know what I'm going to do, because I think I can sight read the piece. It's just I don't know how it would be if I had to play it with other people, because I don't know. I'd have to do it on the spot with other people, which means we'd have to quickly decide on, I guess, all those little details like tempo, rubato, there's rubato, the layering of the voices, I don't know, but so that's the round which I'm most unsure of. Apart from that, I think I'm playing at this place called Pemberley's Pianos, which is basically a piano studio. I forget where it is. I just know that King's Cross is supposed to be a close station, but apparently I'm not going there, because if I go to that station, I have to walk about 15 minutes to get to the studio. So I just decided instead to go to this other station, which I haven't heard of before, and I can't remember the name. And then I walk 10 minutes from there. That's going to be, I think, my morning pretty much, because it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I just don't completely know what to expect. So I guess I'll see. I will be recording as much as I can. I most likely won't be allowed to record the actual audition, Also, apparently there's a part 2 to these auditions. So I don't know, I may have to do like a second part if I get through the first one. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and interested to see where this goes. So we're about to leave for the audition. I had to look and hunt for my Oyster card. I don't know whether you guys have this problem, but you keep your Oyster card in a safe place, and you're just like, okay, I know it's here. The next time I need it, I'm gonna come. It's gonna be right here. It's gonna be here. I'm gonna have it. But then, when it actually comes to you needing the Oyster card, you look into your safe place, and it's not there. And you're just like, where the hell is it? And then you tear apart the whole house looking for it. You look in the most ridiculous places. You look behind cushions. You look inside cabinets which aren't related to cards at all. You look everywhere, and then finally, you go back to the same place you looked in the first place. You lift up a leaflet, and it's right there. So we were having a bit of a problem trying to find out where to go. I think we know where to go now. I don't know what it is with these like piano studios. They're actually never close to the station. They always make you walk at least 10 to 15 minutes till you actually get there, which is fine if you know where it is, but when you don't know where it is, you end up like going back in circles. We crossed the same pret-a-manger shop like 3 times, but I think we're headed in the right direction now. But I don't know. I don't know whether they're trying to get you to warm up before you get there. I don't understand. So we've arrived at the studio. This is my warm-up room. I don't know what it is with the phone maps. I don't think they actually work. I mean, you're heading in one direction, and it shows like you're heading in the opposite. So obviously you change and think, okay, must have just been a mistake. And then you go in this direction, and you're still going in the opposite. We went in all 4 directions. I was like, how is this even possible? We're still going in the opposite. But anyway, we're here now, so I've got about 15 minutes, so I best get to the warming up, and then it'll be the audition time. This is Peregrine's piano. It's very hidden on this street, actually. I just finished my audition. The audition was very different from what I expected. It wasn't like any other audition I've been to. So basically what they did is they had me play my solo piece, which was fine. I was ready for that. Then they did the orchestra excerpts. So they picked certain sections and they asked me to play it. So I didn't actually play all of the excerpts. And then after that, they gave me some sight reading. So they gave me a Mozart concerto. It's the popular one, the one that goes like dee da da dee da 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 da. So I recognized the sound, and that was actually quite fun to play. And then afterwards, I had the interview where they asked me why NYO interested me, my experience playing with others. They asked me about Purcell. So it was like a conversation just about the experiences I've had with orchestras mainly. So I told them about the concertos I've done, about the chamber music I've done, and where I played with others. I think my audition went quite well. It kept me on my toes quite a bit because I wasn't sure what was going to happen next, but I did enjoy it, and I hope I get selected. On the way back in King's Cross Station now, I think I'm just gonna walk through the audition a bit. I think I did actually pretty well. When I first came out, I was a little bit doubtful, but when I actually think about it, I think it went okay. Because the first was just the solo piece, which I'm like very confident with, because I played it like quite a long time ago, so it's a really old piece. And then the second part was the excerpts. So I just had to play what they said, which I did. So I don't think anything really went wrong with that. They asked me to see if I could change certain things, and they seemed to ask about if I knew where in the orchestral part it was. So I told them, because I actually did listen to all of it. And that was the orchestra excerpt part. And then after that they had the sight reading. So the sight reading, they made me do a Mozart concerto. I actually recognized the concerto, but I haven't played it. I did ask them if I could try to play some of the parts before I started, and they just said, no, you can't. So I just had to kind of open it and start playing. And I played about a page, and then after the sight reading, they asked me to come and sit by the table, and then they started asking me questions. So because I go to the Purcellschool, they tried to ask how that was. So I talked a bit about how I'd been there for 4 years. It gave me the opportunity to play with others because they're interested in like what I've done with other musicians. So I told them about the chamber groups, about the concertos, and about how I've played like in other countries a bit as well, like in Germany where I played with an orchestra. I actually played the Rhapsody in Blue there. It was a lot of fun. And they asked me like what I like to listen to, especially orchestra wise. So there's a lot of questions like that, and I told them about everything I listen to and how I like to know and learn about the piece before I like watch it. So I told them about how I knew with Stravinsky that Petrushka led to Firebird, which led to Rite of Spring, and they were interested in that actually. So I talked a bit about that, and then afterwards the interview was just finished, and then they just said, we'll let you know in 2 weeks. So I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, sorry. I thought this was the tray. It's actually the next tray. So if you liked the video, be sure to subscribe, like, share it with some friends, and if you have any opinions, be sure to drop a comment as well. And if you didn't like it, then subscribe anyway, because it's free. I mean, who cares, right?